Welcome back to Stu Studio, conservative takes on music. So obviously shit's going down in Minneapolis between ICE and the local law enforcement and the local and state government, and tensions have heated up after the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, and the music world is noticing and they won't shut up about it. Many artists chose to speak up during the Grammys over the weekend. A bunch of them just wore ICE out pins, which, sure, that's like the lowest amount of effort you can put in to support a cause. Like Joni Mitchell and Justin and Hailey Bieber. Justin Vernon from Bon Iver was also wearing a whistle pin, which is about the same amount of effort, just a little bit more attention-seeking. But he did interview with Variety, saying that the whistleblowers around Minneapolis are protecting their community. I mean, protecting them from federal law enforcement who's seeking felons. But Samara Joy, the winner of the Best Jazz Vocal Album, she was a lot more broad, so you couldn't really say that it was against ICE when she said, "I want to stand up. I don't want to draw attention to myself all the time without recognizing the humanity of all the people experiencing tragedies around the world. I want to speak up for those who can't." So that could really just be about any international tragedy, but pairing that with the fact that she was also wearing an ICE out pin, it's a little less broad. Shaboozey won his first Grammy for his performance of Amen with Jelly Roll, and in his speech he said, "Immigrants built this country, literally, so this is for them. For all the children of immigrants." I mean, that leaves out the fact that settlers built this country, but it's also a little bit ironic that his Grammy is for his performance with Jelly Roll, when Jelly Roll's the one who said, "I'm just a dumb redneck, you shouldn't listen to me or my opinion." Kehlani's acceptance speech was not televised, but she won for Best R&B Performance and R&B Song, and she said, "Together we're stronger in numbers and must to speak against all the injustice going on in the world right now. I hope everybody's inspired to join together as a community of artists and speak out against what's going on." And she finished her speech by saying, "Fuck ICE." Olivia Dean got the Grammy for the Best New Artist, and she said, "I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated." Now, at least she's not saying like fuck ICE or fuck federal law enforcement, but her speech being buried among all these others makes it pretty clear what she's talking about. And I mean, I'm the great-great-grandson of an immigrant, just not an illegal immigrant or a violent felon. So Bad Bunny took home 6 Grammys, including Album of the Year, but it was during his acceptance speech for Best Música Urbana album that he said, "Before I say thanks to God, I'm going to say, ICE out. We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we're humans, and we are Americans." And he's Puerto Rican, so yeah, he's American. And I don't think I've ever seen an acceptance speech for Best Música Urbana album, but when they're giving a guy Grammys just for pissing off Trump, I guess they're going to show every minute that they can. And he stumbled over his English a little bit and something got lost in translation. He said, "Hate is contaminado." I think he tried to say that hate is just infectious. And the only thing more powerful than hate is love, which I think is a good message. That's fine. I just think that protesters lighting fires in Minneapolis and protecting violent felons and child molesters should also listen to that message. And then maybe the most famous clip is Billie Eilish standing next to her brother Phineas. And she's officially reached the level of success that she just doesn't want to thank anyone anymore. She just wants to voice her opinion and thinks that people care. Because she acted like she was like reaching for something profound to say, but instead said something stupid like no one is illegal on stolen land, which is a contradiction in terms, and finished by saying, "Fuck ICE." So obviously really intelligent, well thought out statements from people whose political opinions are boring and do not matter. Now, along with the Grammy speeches, in the last couple weeks, some artists and bands have released anti-ICE protest songs, acting like they're brave and fighting the power in the 70s. Like this one from Bruce Springsteen called "Streets of Minneapolis." Now, this one to me just sounds like a direct ripoff of Bob Dylan. And you can tell Bruce is really pissed he missed out on the protest rock era and thinks that he's so brave and clever with this one. It starts off, "Through the winter's ice and cold." Ice, get it? Down Nicollet Avenue. "A city aflame fought fire and ice." So within the first 3 lines, he uses the same little clever line with the double entendre of ice, but leaves out that the city is aflame because protesters just can't control themselves and will break any law that they think they can get away with. Says King Trump's private army from the DHS. Like, what time does this guy think that we're living in? A king would not let a whiny little Jersey boy talk shit about him for this long. Says they came to Minneapolis to enforce the law, or so the story goes. Now that would be the law that Obama and Biden both upheld, could have overturned, but instead they left it in place and enforced it themselves. It's just that Trump's doing a better job of it. And against smoke and rubber bullets in the dawn's early light. So he tries to sound kind of patriotic, but it's totally pussified by the mention of rubber bullets. and 2 dead left to die on snow-filled streets, Alex Preddy and Renee Good. And that's probably the biggest accomplishment that either of those two people ever had, was being mentioned in a Bruce Springsteen song. He goes on to describe the shooting of Alex Preddy. Says, "Their claim was self-defense, sir, just don't believe your eyes. It's our blood and bones, and those whistles and phones against Miller and Nome's dirty lies." Obviously, Stephen Miller and Christy Nome. And then just in case you didn't think this song sounded enough like Bob Dylan, he rips into a harmonica solo. In the last verse, says, "If your skin is black or brown, my friend, you can be questioned or deported on sight," which is obviously not true. Like, just factually untrue. I think the bigger disturbance is coming from protesters who are stopping vehicles that they suspect might be ICE agents, standing in their way and blocking roads, demanding to see proof that you're just a normal citizen, and acting like they have all the authority in the world. Like, these people really think that a federal agency is doing no research and just stopping black and brown people. Like, they wouldn't know where to find an illegal immigrant or a violent felon who shouldn't be in the country. It's just very stupid. The next song I want to mention is just called Ice by Waterparks. Now, they claim that their label would not let them release this song, so they put it out on SoundCloud themselves, which I don't know if I believe, because it's gotten a lot of publicity and made its rounds really, really quickly. And what sucks the most is the opening guitar riff actually slaps, like gets you ready for a heavy song. But then he opens his mouth and reminds you that he should never try hardcore again. Also, like, every other word in this song is fuck. Says, "Fuck Trump, fuck ICE and everyone involved, every day is closer to the fall. Fuck Trump, fuck ICE and everyone involved, every day is closer to the fall." Now, they claim that they wrote and recorded this song in like a day, and honestly, I kind of believe them. They say, "This ain't even politics, this is fucking war. They're killing your neighbors, kicking down our doors. So are you gonna wait until they show up at your place, or are we stepping to the White House gates?" And those are big, tough words from one of the most effeminate, scrawny singers I've ever seen. They say, "It's America versus Donald Trump. He could get the worst, it would never be enough. How much fucking blood does it really fucking cost to protect the fucking pedophile sitting at the top?" So obviously just lazy lyrics that, yeah, probably were written in a day. But again, Trump is just enforcing the law that Obama and Biden could have taken away, but instead they left it in place and enforced it. And Trump is just doing a better job. Then there's just a big long portion of fuck ICE, fuck ICE, fuck ICE, fuck ICE, bitch, fuck ICE, fuck ICE, bitch, fuck ICE, fuck ICE, bitch, which I don't really mind. That's just like a crowd call. But they also go with the double entendres of ICE. ICE about to get real cold, follow orders into hell, burn for every sin that you earned yourself. And I think that federal agents, like, breaking the law would be awful if it was happening. Like, I think Tom Homan is a respectable enough leader that he wouldn't tolerate his agents breaking the law. The same Tom Homan that Obama awarded the Distinguished Rank Award back in 2015, specifically for him fighting illegal immigration. Like, again, the selective outrage is just so revealing. It's so stupid. Then I think Waterparks kind of dabbles in a little bit of felonious calls to violence, saying, "Dox every fucking agent, ready when they knock, say they don't need papers, live above the law, put you on the pavement, break your fucking jaw, protect your fucking neighbors before everybody's gone." They're obviously not creative or informed enough to find another word besides fuck. And then they imply that this is all just to cover up the Epstein list and the Epstein file release, saying, "Every time we get too loud with the truth, a city gets 1,000 more troops. I know the future don't seem too bright, but everything screams right before it dies." That line's kind of badass. And why is it a national security risk to know all the names on the list? Epstein list. MAGA stare at shadows and imagine and squint while ignoring real shit that exists. Fuck them. So really just reminding you with the last statement that they don't know any other words. And all this from the Dial Tones band, but that might actually be by As It Is. Whatever. And the last song I want to cover is Citizen I.C.E. by Dropkick Murphys. Now, this song I thought was actually a good song, except for the lyrical content. And then I realized it's just Citizen CIA with a couple of words changed. So they already released a song about the monitoring police state, and instead of writing a new profound song, they just change a couple of words to make it about ICE. It even starts with the same, like, megaphone shout, calling all Americans below average intelligence, power-hungry scumbags apply today. But now instead of saying, "Come decimate dictatorships," they say, "Come celebrate dictatorships." Because these people have no clue what country we're living in. Say, "Come celebrate dictatorships and bolster the regime while abusing helpless immigrants, a bully's wet dream. You've joined the traitors' ranks to play the hand of God in a scumbag grifter's kidnapping squad." Again, just assuming that intelligence has no intelligence and doesn't know who they're actually kidnapping and has not found out any of these people beforehand. They're just grabbing them off the street because they're brown or black. They go on, "Now they poorly trained an army," and that's kind of a hard point to argue against. Like, some of these agents are clearly undertrained because of the demand. They gave them masks and weapons and sent them on their way. They're knee-deep in Proud Boys. The party never stops. Too scared to join the military, too dumb to be a cop. Now, I don't know what the Proud Boys really have to do with ICE. One is a political activist group and the other is federal agents. But they might be a little bit right with the too scared to join the military, too dumb to be a cop line. So we can give them that. They say, Citizen ICE, let's go. No accountability, violence every day. Now, as Tom Homan has pointed out in the past, they wouldn't need excessive force if so-called sanctuary cities would just give up their violent felons and illegal immigrants that shouldn't be here anyway. But the fact that they're trying to hide them and protect them means they're going to go in and enforce the law and might find a couple people that they weren't even planning on grabbing that day. Now, I do believe in accountability for federal agents, but I don't think that accountability includes doxing them and like threatening their lives at their home, threatening their families and loved ones. I think that if and when they break the law, they should be removed and punished, if and when that happens. Now, a bunch of other artists have released statements saying like, don't listen to my music if you support Trump or support ICE, saying, fuck you, go kill yourself. Like the singer of Hot Mulligan, member of Limp Bizkit and Motion City Soundtrack, and The Used, none of which are surprising. I just really hope that they get the Ronnie Winter treatment when he said, like, Trump voters and conservatives don't show up to my shows, and then quickly backtracked when it actually affected his career. Now, Danny Washington, the old drummer of Neck Deep, he actually put a little bit of effort in, and he recorded a cover of Nazi Punk's Fuck Off by Dead Kennedys, but he threw a bunch of captions in his video relating it to Trump and ICE, and he's British, so there's no reason we should care. It is a good cover, just a stupid message. But I really just brought it up to also mention that Danny takes pictures with proud Trump supporters, conservatives, like this one here. I'll just leave that up for a second. And then the last celebrity speak out that I wanted to cover was Lady Gaga speaking out during the middle of her concert in Japan. She said she was like afraid to go back home to America because of Trump and ICE and everything that was going on, which for the last time is a federal agency enforcing the law that Obama and Biden also enforced. But what's most rich is that she said this in Japan, maybe the country with the strictest immigration policies and enforcement besides maybe the Vatican. Like, there's a reason Japan's crime rate is so low. It's because they don't let anyone in and they don't put up with shit. So if she wants to live somewhere like Japan that's just as ethnically homogenous, tough on crime, closed off, then really she thinks that Trump isn't doing enough. But I'm sure that's a conclusion she'll never come to. So with all of these celebrities saying the exact same thing, except for Jelly Roll, now when we get to a point that Tom Morello is agreeing with Billie Eilish and being applauded by Sabrina Carpenter, and everyone at the Grammys is wearing the same pin, voicing the same opinions, applauding the same dumb lines, I think conservative is the real punk rock, because it's the real counterculture. Like all these millionaires voicing the same opinion and agreeing with each other, that's the mainstream. That's the safe opinion to have. It doesn't take any independent thought, but it might get you 6 Grammys. Well, let me know why you agree that conservative is the new punk. Thank you for watching this episode of Stu Studio, and remember, Jesus loves you.